So on this Easter weekend, there wasn't really much racing going on in NASCAR since everyone was taking the week off with Easter. However, there was an IndyCar iRacing race we'll go over. The only race that also happened this weekend. Because I think F1's also taking Easter off too for esports. So yeah, IndyCar iRacing race at Michigan. It was a very interesting race. I mean, for the field, well, Jimmy Johnson wasn't in the field this week, but Dale Jr. was. Yeah, Dale Jr. was making an IndyCar iRacing start. Let that sink in. Because here's the reason why Jimmy wasn't in this race. Because that whole thing where Jimmy said for IndyCar he would only do the road course races. Yeah, that reasoning also applies to iRacing too. So he's only doing the road courses for iRacing. But Dale Jr. said he'll do all the oval races for iRacing though. So Dale Jr. got to be in this race. So yeah, let's go through the race. So lap 1, the race went off to a very disastrous start on lap 1. Like literally, as soon as they start the race, green flag waves, everybody's software glitches and everyone fucking dies and crashes on lap 1. Right at the start-finish line. Holy fuck, that was a disaster. Like, that was like one of the worst ways to start a race off. It's like, Jesus Christ, can we even get past the start-finish line before everyone dies? God damn it. But eventually we got the race going. When it did get going, it was actually a pretty competitive and very exciting race. You know, a lot of close racing, a lot of lead passes for the lead under the green flag. Another thing that the drivers are going to have to learn is how to enter pit road properly. Because we had a number of crashes and spins coming on the pit road and drivers almost losing it. It's like, yeah, they need to learn how to practice getting on the pit road. But yeah, the lap 1 crash really knocked put a lot of strategy into play because the end of the race, that ended up being a fuel mileage race. Because that lap 1 crash really messed up everyone's strategy and took out a lot of good cars. Like, it ended up being a fuel mileage race. Ryan Hunter-Reay was in the driver's seat, but he couldn't make it to the end along with Veach. Kipler ran out of gas on the last lap. But Simon Pagenaud, through all of it, he was able to make his fuel tank last to the end. And he wins the race at Michigan. Gets a win for Roger Penske in his backyard. For anyone wondering, no, Roger Penske's backyard is not Indianapolis. It is Michigan. Because Michigan happens to be his home state. He's from the Michigan area. I think it's outside Detroit. But yeah, and shut up, phone. I don't care right now. So yeah, he gets a win for Roger Penske in Roger's backyard. Scott McLaughlin also made his fuel tank last too for a second place run. So he gets Roger Penske a 1-2 finish at his home track, at Roger's home track. How about that? But there's a big news here. Dale Earnhardt Jr., in his first iRacing start for IndyCar, gets a 3rd place finish. It might have been on fuel mileage, it could have been a fluke, but fuck it, let's give Dale Jr. his shot. Because let's be real, if we try and trash Jr. in any way, the fucking Junior Nation's gonna come right after our ass. And you don't want to mess with Junior fans. They will fuck you up mentally. And physically. And yeah, you get the point. I didn't even mind Dale Jr. that much, actually, to be honest. I've always liked Jr. too. So yeah, Jr. gets a 3rd place finish. Not bad. And Will Power even got a top 5 run with a 4th place finish. So we had 3 Penske cars in the top 4. Because Newgarden was part of that lap 1 crash and he really never recovered from it. So yeah, 3 Penske cars in the top 4. Not bad for Roger Penske at Roger's home track. So yeah, you know, pretty good, solid race overall. Not bad. You know, other than that lap 1 crash and the shit show coming to pit road where everyone fucking had problems getting on, it was still a pretty good race. Pretty exciting too, especially the fuel mileage at the end. Like, it always seems that Michigan is always a fuel mileage track. Even in the real NASCAR races I've gone to at Michigan, it's always been about fuel mileage. Hell, the August race I went to at Michigan last year was fuel mileage at the end. Because everyone was running out of gas and Harvick was trying to make it to the end. So yeah, you know, it sucks that I couldn't go to Michigan, because of everything happening in the world right now. Would be really cool if IndyCar ever came back to Michigan. It's probably never gonna happen because of how dangerous it would be. But hey, it's great to see it on it. Great to see an IndyCar race on iRacing at Michigan. Still not the same as being at the track, though. Fuck you, COVID-19. But yeah, so yeah, next week NASCAR will be back with iRacing at Richmond. And IndyCar racing next week, they haven't said what track it's going to be, but they said it's going to be an oval track. So we got ourselves a mystery track with 3 races to go in the IndyCar iRacing Challenge. Well, here's been the trend. First race of the IndyCar iRacing Challenge, they went to a track that they don't go to right now. Race number 2 is a track that they currently go to. Michigan, it's a track they don't go to. Here's a trend, folks. The odd number races, it's been a track they don't go to. But the even number races, it's been a track that they do go to. So I'm guessing the oval's going to be one of the ovals that they go to on the schedule. I think it's down to 3. I think it's either going to be Texas, Iowa, maybe even Richmond. Have a little IndyCar NASCAR doubleheader for iRacing. They could go Richmond there too, or they could even go Gateway. We'll have to wait and see what they choose, what the drivers choose. It'll be very interesting, though. But Dale Jr. will be in the race next week, since it's an oval. But yeah, anyway, not much really to talk about here, real quick, I'm happy Easter to everybody. Hope everyone stays safe during these tough times. But in other racing news, we do have a sad announcement. We do have a passing away earlier this morning. Early this morning, F1 legend Sterling Moss has passed away at the age of 90. Godspeed. They're saying it's not COVID-19 related. They say it was just old age and his time was up. He lived a full life. He's a very, very talented F1 world champion. Rest in peace to Sterling Moss. But yeah, anyway, that's going to wrap it up here for this video. Maybe someday we'll get real racing back. But though, well, anyway, that's all I gotta say. Hope everyone's a great day, and yeah, peace out.